This week's class, When Your Health Matters, the class designed to empower you to better health through knowledge and education. And I'm your host, Dr. Richard Untoon from Advanced Alternative Medicine Center. We are located at 138 Canal Street in Pooler Park. That is in Pooler, Georgia. We're in Suite 404 of Building 400. If you'd like to stop into the office, that's always wonderful. I enjoy meeting new people. I enjoy answering questions and probably get a brief evaluation so I can clarify what it is that you're dealing with and how I can help you. But short of doing that, the next best way would be to call my cell phone directly at area code 845-561-2225. Again, 845-561-2225. That is my cell phone. It goes directly to me. I will be the one answering the phone the majority of the time, nearly all the time. If I don't answer the phone, please leave a message. Please do not text that phone, as that phone is not equipped to receive texts. But you can email me directly at docrick@spineboy.com. That's DOCRICK at spineboy.com. And it would be my pleasure to help you to better understanding what the concerns you have regarding your health and your health issues. Now, today's class is an important class. It's actually a very important class. It's called, What is Your Transit Time? And when I ask about your transit time, I'm not talking about the time it takes for you to leave your house and go to your job, or from your job back to home, and how long that time of transit takes. I'm actually talking about how long does food take to go into your mouth and come out the other end and get dropped off at the pool. And how long that takes is a huge, important understanding that you need to have so that you can assess whether you're growing health problems or whether you're not. And so we want to discuss, what is your transit time? Ideally, your body should process your food from the mouth to the toilet. If you have breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning, you should see breakfast the following day, roughly at about 8 o'clock in the morning. It should take somewhere between 20 to 24 hours for food to go from your mouth to the toilet. And if it takes longer than that, you're growing health problems. If it takes less time than that, then you're growing health problems. And so we want to understand, for you, what is your transit time, and I will give you a simple process that you can go through so that you can understand for yourself exactly how long food takes to go from one end of you to the other end of you. Like I said, if this isn't taking place in a timely fashion, you will be growing health concerns. Now, what does digestion start with? Well, it starts with placing food into your mouth, and then you're supposed to chew. Most people, I have found in my 32 years of experience helping people, is that people eat too fast. Majority of people eat too fast, and that is a byproduct of the society that we live in. We are always rushing around, and food is an inconvenience. How many people watching this video sit at their desk while working and shovel some semblance of food in their mouth while they stay at their desk? That's the wrong thing to be doing, but yet that's what so many people do. And again, it starts with chewing. So chewing is the process of breaking your food from solid particles down into pre-digested smaller particles, mixing it in with saliva. In that saliva is an enzyme called salivary amylase that actually helps to identify and mark the carbohydrates that you're putting into your mouth. And it will actually help communicate and send signals down to your stomach, your gallbladder, your small intestine, and your pancreas, so that they know what's coming, so that they can prepare with the necessary enzymes, fat emulsifiers, etc., to help break your food down. But it starts with chewing. So you should chew your food properly. You should chew your food all the way. You should slow down and be grateful for the food that you have that's going to nourish your body and help it be healthy. And you should be grateful for that and take the time to actually chew your food. With the salivary amylase that comes out of a salivary gland known as your parotid gland. Parotid gland is a gland that's typically underfunctioning in most people. Why? Because they don't chew their food well. It also has to do with detoxifying the body of what it is that you're taking in, things like heavy metals and medicines and other chemicals, etc. So that gland is very, very important, and it functions better when you chew your food than versus when you don't. And what it does is it communicates to a part of the body known as the enteric nervous system. And the enteric nervous system is like a second brain that lines your digestive tube, actually has brain-type nervous tissue associated with it, and it helps to regulate and manage what goes through the body, what gets digested properly, what gets absorbed into the bloodstream and then gets assimilated appropriately to support your health. And if the enteric nervous system isn't working properly due to imbalances in your nervous system, due to imbalances within your microbiome, due to over consumption of crap food, the completely refined and processed foods, the antibiotics, the medications, the alcohols, all those things that disrupt your microbiome, those are a problem, and you can help to overcome those with proper chewing so that the signals get sent and the enteric nervous system can respond appropriately. Food leaves your mouth, goes down your esophagus and into your stomach. Once it's in your stomach, that's where your proteins get digested, assuming that you're chewing your food. The carbohydrates should get pushed through your stomach into the first part of your small intestine. If that doesn't occur because you've mixed your proteins in with your carbohydrates, I suggest eating your carbohydrates first and eating your proteins last. This will actually help you better digest and get more value out of your food. Proteins need to get broken down in the stomach using the strong stomach acid, hydrochloric acid. Lots of people are deficient in that acid, so we would recommend a supplement called betaine hydrochloride or possibly a stronger supplement called Zypan in an effort to help break down your food. But if you chew your food well and you leave it as a sole ingredient, meaning proteins all by themselves, your stomach acid should take care of things appropriately. But if you have the carbohydrates mixed in with them, those carbohydrates, which started breaking down in your mouth due to the chewing, are going to finish fermenting in your stomach. Those acids of fermentation are going to form. You're going to get gas, you're going to get bloating, you're going to get indigestion, you're going to get slow digestion, you're going to get maldigestion, you get heartburn, and those sorts of things. You can avoid that if you eat your carbohydrates first, let them pass through the stomach unscathed so that they can get fully broken down with the enzymes associated with the pancreas and the gallbladder. And then the proteins can sit in the stomach for as long as the body needs in order to break them down. And then you don't create indigestion and heartburn. Liver, gallbladder, they help to respond to what's being eaten. Your gallbladder, we've learned throughout the course of this year, is primarily responsible for all decision makings and how your body digests, absorbs, and assimilates food. And if your gallbladder is properly functioning, then it shouldn't be an issue. If your gallbladder is a little bit upset with the nature of what you're eating or how it's being delivered, it may try to turn things back, which is what leads to that indigestion, heartburn, reflux, etc. So once it leaves the stomach into the small intestine, I said the liver and gallbladder and the pancreas dump their enzymes so that the food can finish being digested fully into its component parts, amino acids, free fatty acids, and glucose, which can then be absorbed through the small intestine into the bloodstream and transferred up to the liver for proper assimilation. For those of you who drink with your meals, appreciate that drinking with your meals dilutes your digestive enzymes. If you're drinking cold liquids, that's actually shutting off your stomach and is going to lead to further indigestion. So I would suggest that you don't drink with your meals, and if you are going to drink anything, it should be room temperature, and personally I prefer room temperature water. But you don't necessarily want to be doing that while you're eating your foods, because that will dilute your digestive enzymes and cause improper digestion. So You want to drink after your meals or before your meals. What else can we talk about? We can talk about, well, we talked about hiatal hernias. We talked about indigestion. We talk about partially digested carbohydrates and fermentation and all of that. And again, that goes back to why chewing is so important. Please take the time to chew your food. When you chew your food properly and you do it regularly, I promise you your health will improve. I promise you your energy will improve. I promise you your sleep will improve. I promise you that your healing time will improve. Your blood pressure will improve. Immune system function will improve. Everything will improve if you just take the time to chew your food properly. When you don't, you get irritable bowel, diverticulitis, colitis, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, high cholesterol, arthritis, autoimmune disease. These are all reasons why chewing your food would be important. I think I briefly touched on there's a valve that sits between your small and large intestine. It's known as your ileocecal valve. It is probably the most common reason for low back pain in the world. Having a dysfunctional ileocecal valve, which is overseen by the functioning of your gallbladder. If your ileocecal valve isn't working the way that it should, you're going to have digestive issues related to constipation and or diarrhea. You'll get low bowel gas. You know, the doctors will tell you that you have Crohn's or ulcerative colitis or diverticulitis or something along those lines. Also, when your ileocecal valve doesn't work right, that contributes to high blood pressure. So you want to make sure that your ileocecal valve is working properly. And a simple treatment to help that is to put a cold pack over your lower right belly, halfway between the point of your hip and your belly button. That will allow for a normal tone of the ileocecal valve and get rid of some of those things, including low back pain. So I mentioned earlier about a test that you could do to check out some things for yourself to determine what your transit time is. And so the test is very simple. I want you to go to the grocery store. I want you to get 3 healthy-sized red beets. Now, the beets in the grocery store typically come with the stalks that are on top. Those are known as beet leaf greens. Those are high in an ingredient known as betaine, which helps to stabilize and soothe your gallbladder. So eating the beet leaf greens would be fine, but that's not what you need to do for this test. What I'd like for you to do is take the red beets, cut the stalks off, okay? And I want you to boil them until you can easily insert a fork into them. It's going to take a little while, okay? So boil some water, put the 3 healthy-sized red beets in them, boil them until they are soft enough to stick a fork in them. Take them out, chop them up into smaller slices, cube them if you will, and then put those 3 chopped up cubed red beets on top of a salad. Now if you have a salad on Saturday for lunch, okay, then you'll be able to see how quickly or how slowly your food passes through you. Because you're going to put those 3 red beets in your salad, you're going to eat them. Doesn't matter what else is in the salad, just as long as you include those 3 healthy red beets that have been boiled and chopped up. And you should see how quickly your food goes through you. Now your urine, if you're properly hydrated, drinking proper amounts of water, and you digested your food the way that you should, your urine should start to turn pink roughly 3 to 4 hours after eating the beets. That's normal. You're going to be urinating out the dye associated with the beets. And so don't get alarmed. Don't think that now you're passing blood through your urine and you need to run to the emergency room. It's not the case. It happens to be due to the beets. Okay. Now the second most important thing to understand is when do those beets come out of you? And when they come out of you, and they will, the toilet bowl is going to look like you just, passed an unborn fetus into the toilet. I don't mean to be gross or that frank with you, but that's ultimately what it ends up looking like. Okay? Either it's going to look like you defecated blood into the toilet. And when that comes out, the time it took from eating lunch, preferably on a Saturday, hopefully Saturday turns into Sunday, and roughly noontime on Sunday is when you should be having that bowel movement if your bowels are functioning normal. If your bowels are not functioning normal, if it takes less than 24 hours, if it takes less than 20 hours, then your food's going through you too fast. If it takes more than 24 hours, so between 20 and 24 is normal. Less than 20 is too fast. More than 24 hours is too slow. You're going to know why you're potentially growing health issues. And at that point, you're going to need to talk to me about some potential solutions to help normalize your transit time so that you get value out of your food. You may modify some of the foods that you eat. Sugar causes constipation. Dehydration causes constipation. These are the two primary reasons for why people's transit times are too long. So, watch through this video again. Get an understanding that you want to have 3 healthy red beets chopped up into a salad after you've boiled them for about 20 minutes. May take 25 minutes. Chop them up. Put them in a salad. Make sure that's the main ingredient in the salad. Finish the salad, 12:30, and then wait to see how long it takes for your urine to turn pink, roughly 3 to 4 hours if you're properly hydrated, and how long it takes for your stool to come out into the toilet, being bright red. And that should take roughly, 20 to 24 hours. Takes longer, call me. Takes less time than 20 hours, call me, because you're growing a serious health problem. Phone number again is area code 845-561-2225. Again, 845-561-2225. You can email me at docrick@spineboy.com, DOCRICK@spineboy.com, or you can stop into my office at 138 Canal Street in Pooler Park. Again, that's in Pooler, Georgia. We're in Suite 404 of Building 400. And I hope you've learned something, and I hope you will do this exercise so that you yourself can know whether you're growing health problems for yourself, whether you've already grown health problems for yourself, or whether your body's processing food in a normal, timely fashion. Thanks for tuning in. This is Dr. Richard Untoon saying, I look forward to speaking with you again next week when your health matters.